This is where we're camped now. This is a park in Jacksonville, Florida. Maybe Carol can tell you the name of it. I can't remember it.
Hannah Park. It's a city. Hannah Park, and it's a city park, and it's a Good Sam campground. And you can. The ocean beach is 2 blocks away.
I'm gonna get a little get some of the front of the trailer. Real nice shady, a real nice shady area. We're gonna stay here 3 nights. We were here last night, and the night we're gonna stay, and tomorrow night we're gonna stay. We stayed at Fort DeSoto 3 nights. I didn't take no videos of Fort DeSoto because we had some of them last year, and it's still the same place. This is downtown Jacksonville, Florida now. And they're building a bridge right here where we're parked. Going over the St. Johns River. We're going to go down the river walk. Independent Life building. There's some fountains we're going to go by. Buy them. We're not going to buy them. Those fountains now. Now this is lit up at night. Part of the river walk. Now,
That's a Prudential fountain, and it's lit up at night.
this is the boats down by the riverfront. A bridge being built behind it. And this is all part of the St. Johns River. Jacksonville something. Inn, I think. Residential building behind the fountain. Ships come in on St. Johns River. Building over here, I guess it's apartments, and look at it, they got the trees right up there with them on the riverfront. Look at the Navy helicopter, probably. I don't know where he is. There he is. It's a Navy memorial. Men of the Navy. There goes the Bass Marine River Taxi. Goes around the harbor here. Somebody walked across in front of me, but in boat. There's the big bridge. I think that's the Gator Bowl. Where'd it go?
Think so?
I think that's the Gator Bowl right there. I'm not sure. And then here's all the ships again. And that looks like where they put a boat in, raise it up. That looks like it could be a dry dock. There's another one. There's a ship in one. There's another ship. Now this is looking from the other end of the river walk. Down. There's Gulf Life building. All the insurance companies got their buildings along here.
Much like just a week ago, not quite as violent We do have a wild interruption of severe weather starting last night. Severe thunderstorms as we speak right now in the Texas Plains, and that weather will hold there in the Mississippi Valley right on through all Sunday evening. In fact, some of those thunderstorms will even make it over to about the Atlanta area, to Asheville, North Carolina, Nashville, Tennessee. Off to the west side of that particular area of low pressure, it's cold, snowing in the mountains just west of Denver, snowing on the plains.
We're getting a fresh newscast, weathercast.
Locally for us,
Weathercast right here.
let's put it into motion one more time. Watch how the warm front heads our way. High pressure heads to the south. Festival long pants, folks. Put your thunderstorm will stay to the north and as well. So I'm going to do something with this food here in a few minutes. I'm not simply west.
Fernandina Beach, Florida, almost to the Georgia line. They're having a shrimp festival. That's a little street. All the old buildings.
I'll turn around in the back and you can see a bunch of boats. Boats. There's some of the food places. Naturally, they've got shops, souvenir shops, and all that kind of goodies. And if you want to go for carriage ride, you can do that too. A bunch of fishing boats, sailboats rather. This is the shrimp fleet, shrimp boat fleet. I don't know if you heard me or not, but there's a shrimp boat fleet. Doesn't sound like oldies to me. I'll stand on the far side over there on a shrimp boat. Yeah. University of Georgia Bulldogs. Regular fishing shrimp boat. This is in where, Carol?
Mayport,
Naval Station,
Florida.
Florida, just by Jacksonville. This is the ships out there. We were on one. Can't really see them. The whole slew of them in here. We were on one of them up there. Beach at Mayport, Florida. It was right by Jacksonville. We actually started our vacation. This is 1991's vacation, our trip rather. And we started at Port DeSoto on the 29th of April. This is the 5th of May now. We stayed 3 nights at Port DeSoto and 3 nights here. This is the beach at Mayport. This is where the naval base is. We came down here and walked here yesterday.
This is a suspension bridge we're going to go across, leaving Jacksonville. It's pretty new and it's supposed to be bigger than the Golden Gate. Kind of looks like Skyway Bridge in Florida.
Off to the right is battleship.
Off to the right.
We got on top of it. Maybe you can't see it.
Going up on it. It says there's battleships over here.
Jekyll Island. I don't know if you can hear that. Well, this is Jekyll Island Campground, the name of it. This is Sunday and it's May 5th, 1991. Pretty shady campground, real nice. There's a lot of trees around. I'm gonna go get a real big oak tree. There's a real big oak. There's the office. Here's our trailer from there. Okefenokee Swamp Park. We're going to go on a boat now for 2 miles. I don't know how long it takes. Our friends, one of our big alligators.
We're at the Okefenokee Swamp Park near Waycross, Georgia. Oh, you missed it.
Stupid that's in the water. Get it.
There he goes.
No, he don't listen to me. Nobody ever claimed to have brought apples.
Through the swamp.
Is that right?
I wonder what kind of motor that was. I've never seen one like that. Cypress tree.
See, I missed those though. Water lilies right there.
On the left here, part of an old copper moonshine still, top escape from the swamp. It was found back in the 40s and it was donated to a park here for its life.
Same gator we saw.
Yeah.
There's trap out this.
See, that's what we saw up in
Newfoundland. Possible like water. Show y'all the
Deer, right outside the window in a deer observatory.
Yes.
There's the mother and the little one. He's eating.
She's cleaning him up. Can you see him? That's cute.
out there, can you? No, ma'am, this is tinted glass where they can't see you. That's why they're
Oh, really?
sitting there so calm.
Yeah.
You can really, now you can really see how little he is. She left. She walked away. Gator, we're probably within 20 foot of him.
Big.
Yeah. And there is an otter floating around the little pen they got here.
Swimming.
And here's two laying over on the bank. There's one.
Two of them swimming.
Here's, where is he? I missed him. Yeah, there he is. Wait a minute. There's another big one. They're big gators. There's two of them swimming. Maybe.
Frolicking. Looks like it, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here's this one. He's in the pen. Gator's mating.
Natural habitat. We're going down to St. Simon Island today. Drove over from Jekyll Island, a couple miles to Brunswick, and this is the marshy area. Big ship out there.
Ship is going there now. We're over on St. Simon with the pier. There's a bridge we came across. Now see, I can see there's another big ship coming in. There's a pier. This is the end of the pier this way, and now I'm looking out the other way. And there's a big ship. There's a sea island over there. We're going to get over there eventually, but this is just a waterfront here. This is on St. Simon's. Tide's out pretty well. They're working on this area, so we couldn't pull back in here and park. I had to get out and walk back. They're building a new walkway. It's the big beach.
Now we're on Sea Island. We went over a little causeway from St. Simon's Island. And this is a pretty drive with trees over it. And there's big oak trees with a lot of moss hanging on it.
Big.
Pretty drive.
Like Shady Lane Avenue.
Right. A lot of big oak trees on the side.
They have big spreading oaks and they have big spreading houses.
These are some of the houses on the island. So many trees in front of them. Looks like a big one coming up. And look at this one. What is that? The Cloister, which is a hotel on Sea Island. It's supposed to be a real fancy hotel. With our mirror in the way.
I'll go down and come back.
Okay, something says Sea Island. Okay, these are begonias blooming, and there's magnolia trees around. And this is on Sea Island, which is at one of the Golden Isles. It's right off of St. Simon Island, and it's this is that Cloister Hotel. It's a long, thin island.
I'll get a picture.
Now, and that's real pretty area going through
Hampton Point.
Hampton Point. Pretty houses. See the houses now, but anyway, they have beautiful oak trees here, and they go right. The road goes around the trees. They don't cut them down.
There's a golf course over to the left.
Golf course on the left.
This is in Brunswick, Georgia, and it's a 900-year oak tree. 900 years old. It's called Lover's Oak. It is big. Little squirrels are just having a ball. Whatever it is. They're playing over there again. This is from looking from Jekyll Island over toward Brunswick. I don't know how good it's going to come out because it's hazy. We were over here before, we didn't bring the camera along. Yeah, but right over in there was, you can see the St. Simon's the marina. There he is. That's the porpoise right in the center. I don't know if you saw him going out farther. There he is. I got him there. I gotta bring it in closer. There, I got him.
Bring it in.
Huh?
Did you bring it in?
Yeah. I got him. Okay.
This is a lighthouse over at St. Simon's Island, and the beach here at Jekyll Island. Kind of a, what do you call it?
It's gonna run out. So talk fast. It's gonna run out. The bridge goes over there. Very windy air now. Down here you can see the waves coming in. There's a bunch of them coming. Pretty good sized waves today. This is over up from where our campground is. A little more east of where our campground is. Waves bopping around though. Birds going by. They're flying in formation. The Georgia coast, Jekyll Island. And I guess over there, some foreign country, either Spain or Africa or something. Carol. Carriage ride on this carriage. This is Thursday. I guess the 8th.
There's probably about 3 or 4 houses here that went up in the 1860s. And they went up in like 1867, 1868, and 1869. And usually they were northerners that were coming down here south and building their houses because southerners really didn't have any money at that time. You know, the money was sunk, it was no longer worth any value. These bricks that you see all in here, these are called Savannah gray bricks, and they were manufactured at the Hermitage Plantation. Savannah, originally, when we first started here, was to be a slave-free state. The British didn't want us having slaves over here. Once again, they didn't want Georgia becoming like South 48. By 1750, they introduced slavery into this area. And when they brought the slaves in, that's when Savannah began to prosper. Prior to that, everybody was pretty lazy. They used to have a saying back then that they said the land wasn't fit for a white man to work, and they didn't work it. They just sat on it. They were very lazy. Yeah, the big azaleas have already bloomed already.
This is a chapel of Our Lady. I'm going to go inside it and see it. This is the church inside. This is the Cathedral of the St. John the Baptist.
And so all this area is a rebuilding of that burnt area. So the 1850s is when Savannah really began booming because a railroad was brought in here at that time. And it was built for Isaiah Davenport. Now somewhere along the line, I'm not sure exactly when it happened, but Mrs. Davenport started painting her own patterns on her china. And she actually would come out here in the square and sell them. And she said at one time her husband got furious and went over here and turned her table over. He said that she was not to sell anything anymore because it was like a front against his ability to support his family, you know. Parking lot. Yeah. Wouldn't that be her? Yeah, they had 7 elderly women that
It's a public square.
Yeah, I was telling you, they put the public ovens here, where the fountains are now in 1796 when we had that really bad fire.
Waving a flag. This is in Savannah. This is at the waterfront in Savannah, Georgia, on May 8th. There's another suspension bridge. Everybody's getting suspension bridges now. From the statue, and across the river is South Carolina. Savannah River is a dividing line.
This is down by the Savannah riverfront, and little shops.
They just happen to have some souvenir stands.
Right. That we walked right on by. Little stands.
shops. Oh, rough road too. This is a drive back to a Bethesda home for boys. It's 239 years old. It's an orphanage. And it's a pretty drive back here. This is right outside of Savannah.
You get any of the upper part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is Hunting Island, South Carolina.
State
Park on St. Helena, off of St. Helena Island. And this is the beach, the ocean. We just got here.
Okay, there's the sand dunes.
Go back. And then we have
And
the
our
park.
trailer is right smack over there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a box right on the top of it. And it's over about 3 rows of trailers. Pretty darn close to the beach.
Stay here a couple nights at least.
Yeah, I imagine we'll be here at least 2. I mean 2 or maybe more. I just have a sneaky suspicion.
You do.
This is the campground. And that's looking towards the beach. But there's sand dunes there. That's the restrooms and that shower room. Playground. This is really pretty here. It's one of the most popular state parks in the state of Georgia. There's the office. And right there we are. We're not very far from the office. We got a nice big spot. A little luck, we won't have no noise around it. There's Carol standing looking at the water, dreaming. Say so. Okay, now this is the same beach, but the tide's coming in. And where the beach was so wide before, now look at it. This is really a pretty beach. But I know I always say everything's pretty.
Down there.
Good. Oh, the waves are really coming in. It's really pretty like that. About probably 5:30, quarter to 6 in the evening. It's the 10th of May.
There's Don standing by his water. He won't go in it, but he'll stand by it. I want him to walk the beach, but there is no more beach. Look here. This is an antebellum home in Beaufort, South Carolina. It's a little town that's close to our campground, this hunting island we're staying at. We're on our way to see Hilton Head, South Carolina, to see what it looks like. This is a pretty little town. We're waiting for a swinging bridge that a sailboat went on. Yeah, this is Mother's Day, May 12th. There's some bushes, flowering bushes they were. We're on Hilton Head Island now, South Carolina. And a lot of plantations here, but they're private ones, most of them. We're going to go on one old plantation that you can drive onto. I think the flowers are oleanders. I don't think there are any more azaleas.
On the left, in the middle. Get them?
Yeah, I got them. They have over 24 golf courses and 300 tennis courts. Jay came here to check things out not long ago. This is the end of that Sea Pines plantation, and this is Harbor Town. And pretty flowers and people sitting in rocking chairs, and then we have little boats in the harbor. Big boats. Very big.
And they're just rocking their life away. Now here's a pretty good size one. But look at this thing here.
A big one.
I bet he got a couple pennies tied up in there. There's the Edisto. That's another pretty good size. And then it comes right on around the harbor, comes right on around. Very pretty out here. But
Very pretty.
Now here's the other one that I had before, the big one. This is from the other,
Ohio.
from Ohio, from Columbus, Ohio. It is big. There's one over here we saw has its own captain in that, and I imagine this one does too. Pause. Some. This is a lighthouse. I'm going up in it. It's 181 steps or something up in it. Carol didn't want to go along, so I'm going up in it by myself. Should be able to see out over. This is from on top of the 165th step now. Beach now. I got about 16 more steps to go up to the top. That's out to the other side of the island. Parking lot down there. I got the truck parked right in there. Not you can't go up any higher. This is as high as you can go. You can't go up built at 181. This is a ring around the top. It goes down 16 steps from the top. So, this is it. So looking down into the thing, the steps from the bottom, from the top down. Maybe I can do this bridge. And now we're down here. This is a little riverfront park in Beaufort, South Carolina.
Call this tabby. There's shells and concrete, I guess. Mortar, whatever it is.
Cement, sand. What are sidewalks now made out of? Some forts are made out of it. If a cannonball hit it, it just more or less swallowed it up. Not like concrete. It would knock it down.
Beaufort now, and this is the Red House Inn. It's an old house. They're made up like an old one anyway. The hammock up there. Helena Church. Real old church in the cemetery is real old. In Beaufort. It's an old cemetery. Looks like they have some of them above the ground here. And brick walls around sections. Kind of like in Germany or Europe where they have cemeteries around the churches. I guess they did that a long time ago here too. This is the kind of fences they have in New Orleans. Here's an old grave site. 1779 they were killed in war. In battle. Beaufort is a very historical city, a little city, and they've got antebellum homes, goes way back to the Civil War, and very pretty, overlooks the river. This is the Thomas Fuller House in 1786, stucco. And this is a pretty house. This is a pretty house. They're all pretty. This house was built with brick and mortar made by the slaves. It was used as a hospital during the Civil War. Now there's children living in there, I know, because I saw little bicycles and stuff. Staircase. Here's the front of the house. I think that's interesting. This is one with a double veranda, and a lot of them have the hammocks, Pauli's Islands hammocks like we have on them, and chairs and rocking chairs. This one's supposed to have a suspended staircase. I guess that's inside. Really pretty little town, historic and beautiful houses, old houses. This is still Beaufort, and there's the University of Georgia part here, and this is the old, what did you say, Don? The harbor was the oldest?
It's the best East Coast harbor, the best natural harbor on the East Coast of the United States.
So that's why it was such an important town. It's really...
During the Civil War.
Yeah, during the Civil War.
This is about 7:15 at night. We're on a marsh walk, the end of Hunting Island. The tide's coming in, and the sun is over there, and it's going to go down a little bit. If it isn't down already, it's kind of hazy. You can see the tide really coming by here, really rippling in. We came out this kind of boardwalk coming out here.
Charleston, South Carolina. This is Tuesday the 14th of May. Narrow, narrow streets. We're going to try to find the post office. See if we can get our mail.
The street name is really nice.
Well, we found the post office, picked up our mail. Now we've got some more narrow streets. This big truck to go down here. And we're heading to the water here. The river, I guess. Cobblestone streets.
This is the Charleston Visitors. This is the Charleston Visitor Center. They just reopened. It just opened up yesterday on the. I don't know what day it was. Yesterday, the 14th, Carol? Yeah. On the 14th of May. It's an old railroad depot, a freight station, and they charge just about for everything here. Except they don't have the parking lot working yet, the gates. So you park free now. But they're going to have a tour. They have movie in there they show you. They charge you for that. Everything they charge you for. Parking they'll charge you for. So we're going to walk down to the market and have lunch. They're having a parade here. I think it's ROTC group. These are some of the baskets that they make in Charleston. All kinds of baskets. This is just one of about 5 tourist traps right in the same row. That's the market we just came out of. There's about 4 rows, 4 blocks of buildings there right in the center like that. Okay, this is Charleston Harbor. We're out by the pier now, on the waterfront. There's a big bridge that crosses the river. And then there's the aircraft carrier that's in here. I think it's a Lexington. I don't know which one it is. One of them comes in here all the time. There's the ship.
Probably Fort Sumner out there, don't you think?
Ship there. The big ship sitting out there. Coming in probably. Buildings along the harbor, the waterfront. Oh, this is the waterfront park. These are magnolia trees here in the park, waterfront Park. The Hurricane Hugo came through here and wrecked this whole downtown area, and this waterfront park is what developed from it. There's some flowers. And there's a fountain. Flowers. Waterfront park again. Dog wading in the pool. And children wading in the pool. They ain't got no business in it, but they're there. Cobblestone street now. He's driving over it. They're nice and smooth. It is. These are the houses along East Bay Avenue or street. You see, they're just built one right on the other, and they're restoring a whole bunch of them. They're restoring them all the way down the line. You can see the scaffold and everything down there. They're redoing them. Now, Carol, you say what this is. Well, these are just pretty houses along the waterfront. Now, we're not to the Battery yet, but we're getting there. But these houses here are all old, big old houses, southern mansions. See, here's the water, and we're right across the street. They're all along here.
I was built in 1828.
This one was here?
Yes,
That's their way. I think there may be two lights, so I'll take them from the other end, I guess. Carriage tour coming along. When Hurricane Hugo went through, we just talked to that telephone man. When Hurricane Hugo came through here, there's about 12 foot of water on this street. About 5 or 6 foot in all these houses. So all these houses, that's basically why they're being renovated now. I guess their insurance companies paid them enough to warrant the renovating of it, and they're taking care of the whole thing now. You see, this is a big seawall. This is like a levee. And it's, well, you can see there's cars there, so it's well higher than a car. So, what's going on?
there's a battery up there.
The rest of these houses here, and I won't take no more houses. I don't think. I don't promise nothing. Now this is pictures from right across the street from those houses. They just took pictures of this. Is the harbor. This is inlet. And I'll swing around to the Battery. There is a sightseeing harbor cruise boat. There's people walking. And there's the Battery up there. That's where we're heading.
What do you think?
Well, a policeman just waved to me.
Right?
Yeah. I guess he did, but I didn't make it in time. There's the gun emplacements. These are Civil War guns now. There's a statue. They're making some kind of filming deal there. We saw one before, making an advertisement for Chrysler. It's going to take them 14 days to shoot a couple 30-second thing, but we don't know what this one is. Okay, here's the rest of Battery Park. From across the street from it. We came by here with the kids, I don't know, it must have been 70 or 71 or something like that. Whenever we went to Myrtle Beach, we came down here, but that's a long time ago.
This is a circular church. It's the United Church of Christ. It was built in 1681. Interesting. No, you can't get caught in there.
We just went on this little shuttle back, the last 10 blocks back to here, but we went about 35 to get here.
This is May 15th. We're going over this high bridge out of Charleston, South Carolina. And and we're going up the coast towards North Carolina.
Look out to the right, there. I can see the aircraft there.
A lot of these trees looks like are bent over from the Hurricane Hugo. Well, these aren't as bent over. No, they aren't. Snapped off. Okay, this is on the way, right by the campground. There's a swampy area and they have a boardwalk out, and there's an alligator.
I'm walking across, taking it now, because she couldn't see him over the top of this grass, so. There's one there, there's one there, there's one right in there, and there's another one out in there. He's floating around, he's just laying there. There's another one laying. And over there's another one. This one actually facing me. That was the one I just took before. Coming up to look at me.
Hold on out there.
He just ate something.
Daddy.
He had a vanilla wafer.
Oh, that's
Cracker. Yeah, I have a cracker instead. I think it's for the fish off. Fish feed off the
I
cracker.
think that's real.
Yeah.
There's one. He's curled up in there, back in there, right in the center of the screen.
This is on Polly's Island, South Carolina, where they make the hammocks, the rope hammocks like Dale and Terry got us. And she's making the body part of it, I'd say. Unibody. It's weaving it like with, as they call it, a needle. It looks like a shuttle.
For lazy days or evenings, just relax. Our hammocks swing between two trees or posts on porches. Next, the patio.
And then he's tying the, well, he's not tying it yet. He's fixing the ends.
We also make a steel hammock stand.
Cut these off and
Durable and
spread it to a spread
easy to
box.
assemble,
Stretch box.
some
Yeah.
shape. It's ideal for decks, patios.
And then he puts the ends on and knots them.
We've even designed a
What kind of knot did you say?
Bowling. Bowling.
Bowling knot.
we know
And the more you stretches, the tighter it gets.
He runs through that. That's
That's
a spreader bar.
That's a spreader bar. He runs it through there.
because we've survived the
He was doing one before. This is at Huntington Beach State Park in South Carolina, near Myrtle Beach. And this is a beautiful beach that we have right by our campground. Sure, yesterday.
No, wait, just say it now. That wasn't. Okay, go on.
I went in the ocean yesterday. Some lady went in, so I went in with her for a while. Don wasn't here, so. This is where Hurricane Hugo took all the sand dunes down. They had to rebuild them.
This is low tide now.
And took all pine trees out of the campground. Really did a lot to the beach too. This is low tide now, and it's a big wide beach.
I think the battery's going to run out in a minute. Well, there's a dune right there, and as you walk, looks like I'm drunk, but as you walk, you come up over the dunes. And then there's the beach. Like that. So there it is. This is the campground we're staying in. At Huntington Beach, South Carolina. Now this was pretty well wrecked by Hugo. Pretty well wrecked by Hugo. There was a bunch of pine trees in here. It was all taken out. It was under about 10 foot of water. And so a lot of the pines are killed by the salt water and that. But they said it won't take long. They'll be back again. Over here, there's you can see the damage done on the side of the wall there by the salt water on the stucco. And that's the restrooms. And it was just real shady area. All a bunch of all kind of trees. But you see little trees, they've got them planted. And right here by us, there's trees planted again. They're oaks, they're little oaks. They've got them all over now. These are crabs. We don't know if they're sand crabs or mud crabs. They're crawling across here. Out in the marshy area. Battery's going to quit in a minute. Well, it's blink.
This is May 19th, Sunday. It's very cloudy and kind of drizzly today, but we are at a campground called Camp Ocean Forest. There's no trees around. I don't know what the forest part is, but we're right on the ocean. Those are boys surfing, body surfing. And this is what we see from my campsite. And there's a pier that their fish spot out of. There was a lot of them out there before. We're going to stay here 3, maybe 4 days. And this is right out from my campsite. Guy running. There's our picnic table. We look out the window, that's what we see. There's our trailer. It's not the best campground. Kind of parked close, but we're right by the water. So that's our truck and trailer, and that's the water. Very nice. Hope it clears up. It was hot yesterday. Today it's cloudy and cool, like 70 high. Big high waves. This is out on Emerald Isle, North Carolina, part of starting the Outer Banks. I'm going to stay here 3 or 4 days, then we're going to go on to Cape Hatteras across a ferry, 2.5-hour ferry, I believe.
That's a shrimp boat going by right outside our door. I'm standing in the trailer taking pictures. And there's big waves coming in. And shrimp boats going, they go back and forth, it seems like, along here. That'll be enough of this, I guess. This is Fort Macon State Park, North Carolina. We're just going to enter it. It's like a moat around it, but I don't think it is a moat. And over here, there ain't no moat because there's a place there when you shoot out of, and they wouldn't want to shoot underwater, I don't think. So, and this is inside the fort, just like the courtyard. Took them 8 years to build it, Carol said. Now I'm up on top of the fort. Looking down, that's where we came in, right over there. There's gun emplacements where they had the guns that are rolled around. And here's some more. Now this is across that little moat-like thing. There's a moat-like thing down in front of us here. And there's the water right out there.
This is the town of Beaufort, North Carolina. Came across the causeway from the islands and came over to Morehead City, and now this is called Beaufort. It's a quaint little town, seacoast town, and it's got a lot of boats, and it's got a lot of old houses down the line. Kind of reminds us of Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. Little shops, and they have a maritime museum. Some old houses in 1700s and 1800s. It's going back from Morehead City to Atlantic Beach. All I get is the mirrors and the rails and.
No, I think if you take it right out there through the windshield, you will have a line.
Okay,
And
there.
over there through the windshield.
All right, there it is. This is going across the bridge onto Emerald Isle, which is part of the Crystal Shores. We have a lot of marshland. This is the inlet, the intercoastal waterway. And we're camped on the other side, which is the ocean itself. There's a marsh here.
This is the end of Island, Emerald Isle, and this is where this comes around to where the inlet is. I guess I'll start it with the closest in as I can get. There's a beach area. And this is where the inlet starts. You see the wave just sort of stop. Now there's a dune. And over here you can see there is no more waves. So that's where the sound is. Somebody's going to drive down this road here. I'll get him as he goes down. Well, he can go around too. So they can see the ocean, I guess, while they're in their house. This is from our campsite now. That shrimp boat out there, he's pulling his net in. We must have it loaded. He's pulling her in now. Right there's the pier. He's not very far away. A lot of people on the beach today. This is on a Wednesday, 22nd of May. Waves are pretty good size, and there's a lot of surfers coming in. Well, not right now, but big waves. There comes a surfer. Was a surfer. He's now in underwater. There's Carol in front of the fifth wheel. And right here at the beach. There's kids out here, people out here, they're surfing. They're waiting to get up on them. Getting out. You can hear that one. And there's the fifth wheel over there. These waves are starting to break right about where I am. Bunch of people fishing on this pier. The pier is probably about 1,000 foot long. This is the other side of the pier. This is I would call it the east side of the pier, or the north side, whichever you want to call it. The opposite side from where we are.
That's a Harrier jet like comes up, goes straight up and down. Here comes another one now. Now that's the surf you hear right now, but the Harrier jet comes in. They're practicing on a field over here, a landing strip. Landings and takeoffs. Across TJ's store here, our place of business here. There we are.
Don in his brand new swimming suit and tennis shoes. He's had one his swimming suit for 18 years. He decided to get a new one, just so he can sit around in it. He won't go in the water. Henry, right? There he is. And right here.
I don't think a while ago I got the colors of the water. Now maybe you can get them from here. There are different colors. Here we're waiting in line for the ferry to go over to Ocracoke Island from, this is Cedar Island terminal. I'm going to turn around. I think there's some shrimp boats out here. There's some shrimp boats out there. Starting to, I mean, they're fishing, they're shrimping, they're all around. About 5 or 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See 7 of them.
Airman gift shop.
Wait a minute, now say it.
Motel, dining room, gift shop.
That's the ferry we're going to go on. He's turning it around now. So they got to come off from this back end. There's a lighthouse of Ocracoke. We're coming into Ocracoke now. There's a ferry terminal in there where we're going. Someplace in there. We're going in over here.
Now we're arriving on the free ferry at Hatteras from Ocracoke. Took about 40 minutes, and we're gonna go stay at a campground here. We have to wait for this one to come out so we can go in. Beautiful day today. Sunny and low 80s probably. Beautiful day for a ferry ride.
Tell about it.
This is Cape Hatteras Lighthouse on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And it's the tallest one in North America, did I say?
Yeah.
205 feet. Used to be able to go up in it, but now they don't let you. They think it might eventually crumble in the ocean because of the sands and the tide. I forgot how old it is. This is built in 1870, and they're restoring it now, but they don't know if they'll let anybody go back in there or not. And this is Cape Hatteras Beach, seashore. And a lot of them surfing and sunning and swimming. Pretty way that cove goes.
A lot of windsurfers out here. This is on the sound side. Pamlico Sound, and the other part is the ocean.
This is just above Hatteras. We stopped here yesterday and it was pretty something I could see. Very daylight yet, but if there's the moon, it's it. Kind of a steep beach, not a wide one. Now that's the one side. See, it's very narrow. Right over there is a sound. That's between Hatteras and mainland now. There's some pretty clouds tonight. I guess I got them before. This is about 3 miles north of the town, village of Hatteras. What we had earlier today was right where you got off the ferry. In the middle, you can see they got like 4-story houses out here. There's the sun setting. It's going on down, but it's not real red all over like.
No, it's not like Florida. Pamlico Sound.
This is the campground we're staying at. This is the office, and this is in Hatteras Village. That one's leaving, but they really had them packed in here this weekend. Now this mobile home next to us right here. And I'll just go on around. Here we are. We're next to the mobile home. And then they're on down this way. All around. Pretty nice park. But they've really been coming and going this weekend. There's a swimming pool there. Carol's in there right now. She's swimming. But it's a nice place. overflow area right behind us now. They're really packed in here. Those are yucca plants. As you can see, she's got the hammock up.
This is the Oregon Inlet Bridge that was knocked down by a barge. Part of it was, and they had to take it back up, build it back up. October of last year. The only way to get off of the island, Evans Island, except for that ferry down south. There's like a sandbar out there. There are a lot of parks out there fishing. Took out a 370 section. Very pretty. Pretty view of it. It's a long one.
Here's the section they took out.
Oh, this is a section they took out and they redid. See, it goes all the way around there. Okay, what's this? Where the people were fishing, it's either a salt marsh or a sandbar. This is an old shipwreck. It's called Laura Barnes shipwreck. Different one. Okay, we're on the way to Nag's Head today. This is the Memorial Day, the 27th, and this is the shipwreck of Laura Barnes wreck. Laura Barnes boat.
Here comes a car.
Okay.
That's a
This is the sand dunes at Jockey Ridge State Park around Nag's Head, North Carolina. It's awfully windy. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but there's hang gliders go off of here, but we'd have to go all the way up on the top of those sand dunes to see them, so I don't think we're going to go. Some of them are 100 feet high, they say.
I couldn't tell where the guys were and where they weren't.
Close to where.
This is close to where the Wright brothers had their first flight. We're going to go to that memorial soon.
We can see the sand dunes from way over there. We're going across another bridge. Nag's Head. Over there. We just came from Roanoke Island.
I think I want to get this. Up on there, and I don't know if it's going to come in, I doubt it. Those are hang gliders. That's a hang glider class. And they're all doing a little bit for their own thing. But it's just a class.
Those hang gliders, we're going by them now. Whole bunch of them on the big sand dunes.
So I gotta move. So
Okay.
you're done.
This is the Wright Brothers Memorial, and we're going to go see into it tomorrow morning. And that's the monument for it.
And this is the monument for the parking lot. I don't know if we're going to go up to it or not. I guess we will. I don't know. There's a plane landing on a little landing field they got by it. This is the memorial building. This is like the museum where they got their stuff in it. And these two buildings are what they used at the time. That was where they lived and assembled their airplane. This was the first thing they flew. That was a glider. Now they're moving. This is the airplane. It's a replica of it. Orville flew first, then Wilbur, then Orville, and Wilbur that day. Had one engine and two propellers. They actually had their ailerons in the front instead of the back like they do now. Now you have them back on the rudder of an airplane. There's our two buildings again. And they took off from that rock. And the first flight went to that marker there. The second one went from that rock to the second one. The third flight went from that rock to there. Now that's the point where they took off the ground. That's not where they started their run at that rock. That's where they left the ground at the rock. The fourth one is farther on down. I don't know if I can see that one. That one's way down there. That was 800 and some feet that day. That's the fourth one. This is telling about it. Now if we want to see this, we'll have to stop it and pause and read it. I'm not going to take enough to read that whole thing. And here's the rock that marks the spot they took off. And there's 1, 2, 3, and way down there is the fourth one. That's where they slept, up there, and there. And then that's how they got up there. And that was their work area in the back.
Their kitchen.
And I'm looking through a wire, so if you see a wire in front of it like there, this was their kitchen area.
Where they cooked.
Over here was where they cooked, they did their cooking, and they even had a radio, the way it looks. No, I don't know if that's a radio or what that is.
It's an oven.
An oven, okay.
Top of their stove.
There's the canned goods and everything up on the top.
Yeah, it's got 1903 labels, it says.
And where they stayed while they were working here at Kitty Hawk.
There's Norfolk, Virginia, and we came through right past this, but it was so crowded I didn't take videos. I had to help him see the routes. And those are, I guess, aircraft carriers. There's a naval base here. We had to turn our gas bottles off because this is the Chesapeake, over the Chesapeake Bay. It's a Hampton Bridge Road tunnel. We're going to go through a tunnel like we did the big long one with our Jaco that one time. We go in the tunnel under the water. Inside the tunnel. This is a light at the end of the tunnel.
say what it is now.
This is the James Fort in Jamestown Settlement,
Virginia.
Virginia. This is May 29th. We came to see, this is the fort, the recreation of it.
It is a settlement fort, not an army fort.
Schoolhouse or church, I guess.
See, the roofs are all thatched.
There's a blacksmith shop and gals and guys that are
They'll reenact the... That's his wife, I guess, up there, supposedly. There goes a wild native. See, there they had holes there for the cannons. The one there. No, that was to protect the settlement. And here you had where they could fire over the wall. These are the 3 boats that they have here now. 3 ships that they used.
Now let me see if it says the names. Oh, wait. Yeah.
What's the first one there? First one right here, close to us.
This one is the Discovery.
Okay, then the next one.
Godspeed.
Okay.
And Susan Constant.
Okay.
Oh, that's the wrong way.
You got them the wrong way?
Godspeed over there. Well, that's not the way they gave it on the paper.
Okay. So which one? That's Godspeed there?
Godspeed is the first one out, but farther out.
Okay. And
I
then,
don't know which one is.
well, you ought to have the middle one right. And then the little one. This is Susan Constant, the middle one.
We're going on that
And
one.
what's this other one then?
Discovery. That was,
Discovery. That was right.
Godspeed's out there.
So the first 2 are reversed.
They just got it
Godspeed
right
and then,
here.
Right here, and there's a ferry that will be taken whenever we leave this area. Whenever we leave Williamsburg, we'll take that ferry across the river. That's the James River. We'll take it over, and then we'll go on over and hit I-85 and go on down south again. This piece of wood in here, they stuck in there, and that's how they steered it. That's the rudder.
Oh.
There's a picture of the ship now. Which one is this?
Susan Constant.
That's the Susan Constant. I guess that's the crow's nest up there.
Yeah, well, that's
There. This is aboard the ship now. That's the wattle fence. Part of it is, the top part of it, the wattle fence.
Come on here and take some of him with that. Hot?
not especially. This is the coolest kind of armor.
There's one of the settlers here.
If I was wearing plate mail, solid pieces, I'd be more protected, but I'd be a lot hotter. Plus, if you wear plate mail, you can't rotate your shoulders, so you can't bring a musket up to your shoulder to fire. So in Virginia, you have to wear chainmail or quilted armor, which you'll see inside, to protect.
You can say what you want.
Well, I don't know what it is. You say.
It's an Indian village. This is an Indian village, and it's the way they built their huts. And there was usually, I don't know, 12 people in it or something like that. It's how it's done. I mean, after it's done, that's what it looks like. And here's another. This is an older one. This kept it for quite a while. And here's another one. He's tanning a hide here now. He's tanning a hide in case you didn't hear me.
Right.
So you're talking probably a week to make.
And this is a soldier's camp.
Yorktown. It's the way it would have been in the Revolutionary War. These were the enlisted men's quarters, the tents, and they slept 6 to a tent, so you can imagine it wasn't, but most of them slept sitting up. That's how our muskets loaded.
Round vest, 75 caliber, smooth bore, muzzle loading flintlock. The gun weighs 9.5 pounds. That may seem to be an excessive amount of weight to carry around with you, but you weigh how this is loaded. Oh, before I do that, they weren't hiding behind rocks and trees because by 18th century safety, it cannot go off half cocked. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
And then go into my cartridge box. Each one of the tubes of paper here is filled with gunpowder and a 75 caliber musket ball. Now, of course, these are blanks. There's nothing in here but powder. To open it, you are required, when you join the Army, to have at least 2 teeth on the same side of your head, upper and lower, to bite the top of the cartridge off. If you have no teeth, they don't let you in the Army. When I buy it open, I've got to be very careful that I don't get a mouthful of powder. Now, it will not blow up. It won't kill me. It might make me sick to my stomach, though, because black powder tastes like a rotten egg smells. Bite it open. Pour just enough powder into the flash pan on the side of the gun to give me what is called a flash in the pan. That's my priming charge. Close the battery to hold the powder in place, and the rest of the charge goes right down the muzzle. Now the bullet would be inside the cartridge. You start the cartridge down the muzzle like that. Use my ramrod to ram the charge down to the breech and seat the bullet on top of the powder. Now before I pull the trigger, I have got to remember to take out the ramrod. If I don't, it's going to hit this skinny fella here right in his gut, and I ain't about to go hunting for it. And if I miss, he knows I haven't got a ramrod, and he knows I can't fire my gun. So return it to its proper position and in full cock. Now when I pull the trigger, flint and steel here come together and create a spark. That spark lands in the flash powder. Flash powder ignites, burns to the touch hole, causing the main charge in the breech to go off. Now this is going to be kind of loud. You might want to stick your fingers in your ears. You don't have to back up, because I'm going to shoot that one. So count to 3. On the count of 3, if you're going to take a picture, snap the shutter on 3. It should be able to get the spark and the flash and everything else. You can't do both, though, can you? 1, 2, 3.
We're now on the Yorktown battlefield, and this is a redoubt, which is a earthen fort. French word for earthen fort. We visited the Yorktown Center, and now we're seeing the battlefield. This is the Moore House, where Congress made plans for when the British was going to surrender, and they weren't going to give them full honors, and they made arrangements of what they were going to do.
There's supposed to be a story come on and tell us all about it, but it ain't going to be on. But this is Surrender Field, where the British surrendered to Washington here at Yorktown. And that was this was the last battle of the Revolutionary War.
1781.
Yeah, 1781.
Yorktown. It's on the York River.
Okay. Okay, Carol. Come on up.
We have, this is Market Square.
Yeah.
In old colonial Williamsburg, Virginia. And this is Clown Tavern and a courthouse and the Getty House and Factory. We have there's a horse and carriage under a big tree. If that's an oak tree or what. We have restored and old houses.
Here's some oxen coming up the street. Ladder goes up the roof. I really don't think I care to climb it. It's a little bit warped. They didn't find a straight piece of wood for that one side.
Okay, we're going to have
There's a lot of people. This is looking down the street. Or up the street. I don't know which way I'm looking. I'm looking on the street one way or another. I'll turn around now.
Look at these two walkers.
They have no cars here on the streets. You can see this. They have carriages. Here's some gardens with some flowers in it. We don't know what kind. I had Carol believing they were snapdragons, and then some lady said, oh, they're not snapdragons, so that shot that all to pieces. Here I had her believing it was. This is across the street from this church. We're going to go in this church, she says. Oh, there it is. I don't know what kind of church. Brick one, I know that. The inside of this church now. You heard me. This is the inside. They still have services here. This is William and Mary College. When did it started, Carol?
17. Erected in 1695, but it had a lot of they burned a lot, so it was restored in 1928. This is the Governor's Palace in Colonial Williamsburg.
It used to be the capital of the Virginia. Then they moved it to where?
Richmond.
Richmond. Right. She's learning. There's the crown and that. This is Tallulah Falls. This is the gorge, not the falls. 1,200 feet deep.
It goes from 200 to 1,200. This is where Carl Walanda walked across a tightrope.
Deep.
This is in northeastern Georgia. This is at Black Mountain State Park in Georgia. And this is the highest state park in Georgia. It's overlooking the Blue Ridge Mountains of Georgia. Appalachian Mountains, I guess, part of them. Kind of hazy today. About 70 degrees. Elevation 3,400 and something. T Lake, and it's in Hiawassee, Georgia. And it's also, the Hiawassee River is real pretty too. And we might come camping here sometime. It isn't going to show. I'll take it on this side. And the mountains are over here. Blue Ridge Mountains of Georgia. Tug Lake, I think, and it's coming into Hiawassee on the other end. And the mountains are behind it. It's a beautiful lake. An old flea market we happened to pass by going from Hiawassee back to Helen. And it is an old one. They've got just about anything and everything. Boy, have they got the stuff. Old, new, handmade, junk, just about anything. Long flea market. This is how they boil peanuts in Georgia. Well, over a fire. I want to tell Joanne when she watches this. This is the way you boil them without burning them. Get a fire underneath and have a big pot. This is at Unicoi State Park, and we were going to camp here. The campground roads were so steep getting into the places, so we didn't. We came back to see the park. It's a pretty lake. Dammed up, I guess, with the mountains behind. And this is very near Helen, Georgia. Helen, Georgia. Now, they made it into a Bavarian town. It was an old logging town that was going down, and So they made it into a Bavarian town, and lots of people come, and I think we're going to eat supper here.
Look over here.
This was supposed to be my birthday supper, but we got lost yesterday and it got late, and anyway, they were closed yesterday, the place we're going to eat, so. It's kind of like we saw when we went 2 years ago to Leavenworth, Washington, but it's a little bit more spread out. They even have a Wendy's here made into a Bavarian area. This is where the 20,000 motorcycles were yesterday. And they were doing a ride from Atlanta to Helen for Children's Hospital.
I'm gonna go into here so I get out of this guy's way.
Well, somehow or another, I got a date in here. This is the Hofbrauhaus in Helen, Georgia. We're going to eat dinner, supper. It's supposed to be my birthday supper. Gonna have German food. Indian mound on the old Unicoi Parkway, Turnpike or whatever. We're coming back from Helen now and going towards our campground. It's June 4th and we're in the Smoky Mountains now. We're in North Carolina heading towards Tennessee. I will when I'm done talking. There's clouds hanging in there. There's a ski slope up there. The mountains. And we run into some fog in the Smoky Mountains. Quite a bit of it. We just went up it's a mountain and down again because we had quite a steep hill. They were going down again. We're entering the Smoky Mountain Park now. Driving through a road with trees overhanging. And then we're going to go through the mountains and up a gap. Newfound Gap. It's 30 miles up to Gatlinburg. Laurel blooming. We've seen quite a bit of here in the Smokies. And there's white, and there's pink, and there's purple. We went up the gap, and now we're on our way down. It's quite foggy in the areas. Laurel. Growing, I think.
There it is. See it over here?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Kind of hard to
I
see.
think you're up high enough.
Okay. These are our new neighbors. We just pulled in at